Hello and welcome to another Verona lore stream. We're going to be talking about aliens today. So go ahead and get your History Channel memes ready. Put your hands up like this. Repeat after me. I don't want to say it was aliens, but aliens. All right, we got that out of our system. We're good. So yeah, we're gonna talk about when I say aliens in Far Verona, I mean alien entities that are not human and who are sentient enough that we, not in setting but out setting, we as viewers would recognize that they are sapient, right? They can think. They might or might not be self-recognizing, but the point is they're not human, but I would put them, if I were watching this, I would put them on the same level as humans. They're not socially, not culturally, obviously, but they're like sentient life forms with their own civilizations and shit. Though they're all to a one in a bad way, because hundreds of years ago, humans showed up and just like wrecked the shit out of us. So one thing, well, you know what? Here, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Let's take a look at what I've got prepared here. So I'm going to be using a couple of PDFs to help me with these things. So like, obviously, Stars Without Number has some stuff about aliens, which we'll use. But also, this lovely book, this is the Metamorphica, which you might recognize from one role we made in Swan Song, and you might recognize it from a lot of roles in Daikia. So I'm gonna be rolling some of these. We're gonna be doing some of this stuff. And then I've got my document over here. So actually, hold on. I'm gonna pop open a tab for Roll20. So I have a die roller available to me. So yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. We're gonna talk about aliens. A lot of people asking like, oh, are you gonna use the aliens from the wiki? Why would I need to use the aliens from the wiki in this alien creation stream? They're created already. I don't need to. They're done. I don't need to detail them. They're not something that matters for the context of this stream. All right, let's begin at the high level. So, what are aliens in Acheron Row? What are we talking about here? So we're talking about sentient entities. They are variably civilized, right? Some of them may have had cities, technologically capable. They're not human, right? Non-human, non-artificial. They're biological, I guess, in that case, biological non-humans. They are a mix of the indigenous inhabitants of Acheron Row and visitors there too. Okay. No synthetic aliens. No, that would confuse things so much. We already have synthetic life forms, so adding in robot aliens would totally diffuse the impact of synths. Right? Like, just because we have a sandbox doesn't mean we need to use every tool available to us. Right? we're still trying to sell. We're trying to tell a story that has some degree of coherence and intentionality. So I'm not just throwing everything in. So, okay. What are aliens not? Bumpy forehead humans. So that means no Klingons, no Turians, no Vulcans. Most of the bullshit in Star Wars. Yeah, no, none of that stuff. Get the fuck out of here. They're not purely a metaphor for anything, for racism or whatever. They're their own thing. They're not in a position to threaten humanity or its dominance over the sector. No alien uprising. No, it's not a thing. They're not. No, they cannot. They're just, we won. So this game will not be about aliens rising up to overthrow humans. You can't. They're done. The war is over. They're also not capable of mounting a resistance or rebellion. Right? We killed them all. Like all the ones that were warlike. That's it. They're not. That's not a thing. So that's the thing that they're not allowed to be. Yeah. So there's no. That's over. The time in which case, yeah, utterly subjugated. Yeah, I think that's. And I guess the other thing is, aliens are not a major focus of the on-screen campaign. Like that's just not. They're in the background. We will meet them one at a time or in very small scales. Like they're not. Yeah, we just don't. They're not going to be a big, huge part of the game. Yeah, I think that's the jam. So we'll talk about about kind of what that shape takes. I figure we'll try to work out or detail like 3 or so individual alien species that live in this sector. But yeah, but I don't want to. I mean, there are lots. There are lots and lots of different aliens, but I don't want to detail all of them because I want to leave lots of space. How rare are aliens? I don't. How does one answer that? Like incredibly. There are small clusters of them. Yeah, there's probably like there are a bunch in places where humans are using them as like Hydra, for example. Hydra has a subjugated human or alien class. Kabian has one too. They have like some weird moth people. Yeah, so they're around. And my intention here isn't to place them. My intention is not to be like, these aliens all live here. Remember, there are people undergoing a post-genocide diaspora. We don't have, like, this is the homeworld of these aliens. You could just go there and visit them. Like, they're in, like, ghettos and... anywhere that there was a large enough group of aliens that they could have their own city or like world or whatever, we blew it up. Humans are very good in this universe in Acheron Row. Humans are very good at subjugating and destroying their enemies. So if there was any chance that they would ever fight back, we broke them over our knee, metaphorically speaking, and scattered them to the wind. So it's not a thing that we're gonna see. I'm not gonna be, there are planets that have alien civilization or whatever, but that doesn't mean that it's, everything I'm saying right now is true. I don't care what the tags say. So we can figure out what that means, but it's not Like, nothing that the game is going to be able to say overrides anything that I'm saying. I'm the game master, and we will reinterpret the tags. That's what they're there for. They're not there to tell me, like, no, Adam, you're wrong. It has to be this way. So if you see alien civilization on a planet, it means that it probably used to be one, and then now it's not. Right? Most alien population worlds are TL2. We bombed them into the Dark Ages. So too bad for you. Yeah. Overseen by humans, probably, too. So yeah, the tags are just there to inspire us, but I kind of want to just work out a small handful of like aliens to get an idea of what the sort of aliens that I'm interested in. Yeah. So I guess the secondary kind of question we can talk about here is like, what? I guess aliens are not. We can talk about the synths. Synths are not aliens, right? Synthetic humans, not aliens. The Guild, not aliens. We might talk a little bit about other non-humans in this universe. Oh, that's another thing. Aliens are capable of psionics, but not afflicted, vulnerable to, whatever, by MES. MES is a human-only condition. You can't... Aliens don't get MES, but they get psychic powers other ways. They have their own shit going on. We talked about this, Iron Fist. We talked about this in the first stream. So the anthropomorphs that live in Aldos, those are uplifted humans. They're a guild experiment. They're not aliens. They're humans. They're just disgusting, fucked up humans. Yeah. They're also aliens are not uplifted animals. Those aren't aliens, etc. Yeah. So the aliens are capable of manipulating the same energies as humans, but MES is a different thing. This is a thing that happens to the human brain. They have different stuff. Cool. Okay. So, well, the altered humanity on Trillia are cyborgs. They're just humans that are better. I guess aliens are also, I don't know, variably biocompatible with humans. Can we eat them? Some, probably. Can we have sex with them? You can have sex with anything if you try hard enough. Gross. Can we make hybrid babies? Ew. But maybe? Gross. Yeah. I guess there's a B in that word. Okay. So, let's make a alien species. So, aliens. What are they? What do we need to know? So it starts with that number, gives us some sort of limited stuff for figuring out aliens. Alien races in the universe of stars with that number can be divided into two classes: the like and the others. The like are species with intellects and societies at least somewhat comprehensible to humankind. Go away. They burn up and disappear. There maybe used to be like human-like aliens, but we sent them the way of the dodo bird. We destroyed them. We annihilated them to an individual. We scattered their genetic material to the solar winds so that we would never have to deal with them. They were a threat to us in a very direct and very serious way, and they have been destroyed. There was no way we were ever going to allow them to continue. So what we were left with, all that we have left, are the other. No, we did not assimilate them like Neanderthals. We destroyed them. We did not make them like us. They're gone. They're toast. Maybe they fled to other planets, right? Maybe House Vela, when they were reconstructing the Empire, were like, hey, look, a planet full of aliens. Nope, never mind. We're not putting that on the chart. They don't exist. But yes, we have salted their planets. Listen, humans have a real problem not being the best, in that we're very worried if we're not on the top of the totem pole or the chain or the ladder or whatever. So we made sure that wouldn't happen. And yes, House Vela would never do that. Come on. Their goals, the others are those species too alien for human communication. So I think for the most part, yes, like the aliens that are left, we have a really hard time understanding them. They may not have the biology capable of communication. We may simply not understand how they operate. They may be literally alien or whatever. But like the idea here is that we just don't know how they work. Right? We have some fundamental headbutting problem with them where we cannot communicate. Not in any effective way. Maybe individuals can. Maybe there are like talented psychics who have been able to, but we just like they're just too out there in terms of the way they communicate. Entities of sentient lithic structures, conjuries of crystal, intelligent waveform interactions created by the interplay of energy through rock formations. The others are too different for humans to truly understand. Their goals are incomprehensible. Their technology is hard to recognize, let alone use. And it is possible they don't even recognize humanity as a sentient species. The others are generally avoided, if at all possible, though at times wars break out when the other species vent anger on humanity for reasons unknown. Other races are rare, but some xenologists have suggested they might be more common than humanity imagines. Places that might never support life might be teeming with bizarre offspring of other organisms. So that's the plan. That's all we have left. It's more than just humans with funny faces and extra limbs. So let's see. So what do we need to know? Because this suggests we have to understand their biology, their psychology, and lenses. So lenses through which their universe is seen. Their social structure. So let's talk about that. Okay, so we need biology. We need lenses. We need social structure, if they have one. And then like just loose stuff about like technology and place in the sector. So these are just fields for notes. So I'll work out the details of this stuff as we go. Okay. All right. So this can be our framework. Let's do alien species 001. And we'll do this. We'll replicate this a few times. We'll make a few different aliens. Boop. Boop. So species 2, species 3, and yeah. Okay, great. So let's switch over to the Metamorphica. Now the Metamorphica gives us a bunch of xenobiology tables, right? So basic composition, consumption, natural habitat, procreation, reproductive strategy, reproductive method, social structures for the alien, and then this lady with a sword. So there's some good shit in here, and we can also roll on a bunch of the like mutation tables and stuff. So yeah, the xenobiology is a good section of a much larger, excellent book. So let's make alien species 001. Let's just make them random. Let's do some random rolls. So species 001. Their composition is going to be, let's see, roll a d6. I got a 4. They are incorporeal or psychic. Oh my god, our first species is psychic ghosts. That's a pretty fucking good start. Okay, so they're weird psychic echo ghost species. Perfect. All right. So what do they consume? Let's see. Roll d6. They consume other complex life forms. Oh, fuck. Jesus. Okay. Good. All right. In psychic ghosts that consume other complex life forms. Their natural habitat is a d8. Oh shit, they're parasites. Oh fuck. Okay. Natural habitat, parasites. That's pretty grim. Okay. Okay. They're parasites. Fantastic. Okay. How do they procreate? This can be a good one. With a 2, they procreate. They are asexual or sexual options. I'm going to put sexual options. Okay, good. They procreate using sexual options. Good. Okay. What does that even mean? I don't know. They don't have a singular sexual way of procreating. They have multiple procreation methods. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then their reproductive strategy is a 4. Reproductive that's a cock die. Come on. Cyclical, many offspring. Okay, reproduction, cyclical with many offspring. Oh God, it's almost harvest season. Okay. Their reproductive method. All right, their reproductive method is a D6 for their gestation. The type of gestation is live young in an external incubator. Live young, external incubator. Oh, God. Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay, good stuff. Okay. And then let's talk about, so they have lenses. Lenses are alien psychology. The first step is to understand that aliens are influenced by 1 or 2 emotional or social traits called lenses. Everything about them is structured to revolve around those lenses. So let's roll the two lenses for this species. What do they care most about? So a D20, 2D20. 16 and 9. Subtlety and hate. Oh my God. That is perfect. Okay, so their social lenses are subtlety and hate. You made them. You made them, humans. No, that's not true. They're not ghosts. They're not actually ghosts. But they've been awakened by probably all the generations of human fighting. This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the thing when the fucking, like, Church of Humanity Repentant is like, we must protect the aliens. And the aliens are like, no, we like all this hatred. It's cool. We have incorporeal psychic forms, and we are going to pursue. We're going to procreate by way of our parasitic relationship with other complex life forms, which we then eat from the inside. Good stuff. Fantastic. Okay, so their lenses are subtlety and hate. So subtlety means a species is enormously cunning and patient in character, willing to endure years of suffering calmly in order to bring out some intricate plan. They shun open displays of emotion or opinion, masking things behind protocols of bland correctness. To reveal your true opinion about a contentious matter is a mark either of profound trust or sign of obvious incipient treachery. The true ruler of a species is almost never who it seems to be. Okay, good. And then hate. Hate is the other one. So hate, there is something they hate, and it defines their culture completely by their opposition to it. It may be these aliens are rampant xenophobes, loathing all those who are not of their kind. There may be acrid religious or political divisions among them, etc., etc. Okay, great, good. So let's do their social structures. So I'm going to use the Metamorphica for that. Social structures of the aliens. Okay. So, a D6 for their basic structure. Basic structure is societies fractured into many groups, alternately competing and cooperating. Interesting. Okay, I like that. Better than like a monolithic space foe. Okay. Let's see. The level of technology. that they are able. I mean, they're parasites, so like this will be their core host species because we're gonna need to generate those next. Interstellar travel, good. So they are TL4, or they have access to TL4 technology. Good, okay. And then they have, let's see, advanced tech and underdeveloped tech. And then I think we're gonna have to set them. We're gonna have to figure out like their host species because they probably have a core. They have a core species that they are attached to most of the time. Okay, so advanced tech is a D20, which is the 8. Okay, gastronomy. Oh my god, food. Ha. Oh man, so like they've become really good at creating food technology so that their hosts can become fat and delicious. Oh my god, that's fucked up. Okay, cool. And then their underdeveloped tech is something maybe they need to trade for or whatever, is manufacturing. Okay, so they're not great at making stuff. Perfect. Okay, so this is these guys. Let's roll these ones into. They call them 1A. And these guys can be, let's see. These are the creatures that 001 feed off of. And they live in like they're probably like a nested species. Humans probably only see them as one thing, but they're actually two individual unique species. Yeah, so that should be good. Now remember, they're incorporeal or psychic. These species 001, they don't actually have a physical form. We only see these dudes, species 1A. I guess I can just call them 2. I don't need to start dividing. So these ones, I think these ones are going to be carbon based. I'm not going to roll. So they're carbon based, but not Earth like. Okay. So that's their base biology. Let's figure out. I think I probably have some tables for figuring them like out what they basically like look like physically. So let me see. Is there a table for like body part? This is appearance change. I want like a basic like shape. Here, basic shape we can pull from here. Right? So let's roll. Yeah, reptilian. Okay, hybrid of 2 or more shapes. So they are avian and insectile. Combining avian and insectile qualities. Okay, good. So insectile means like chitinous skin, multiple compound eyes, membranous wings aren't unknown, sucking mouth parts, chewing mandibles. They might function as a hive collective, but there's no reason they would necessarily have to. But they're also bird-like, so wings, beaks, drastic color differences between males and females, covered in feathers, hollow bones, clawed feet and hands, etc. So yeah. Okay, cool. Combining avian and insectile qualities. And let's take a look and see what other kind of alien business they're up to. So what do they eat? Let's see here. So they consume. Something on a D6. Let's see. Okay. Whoa. Fuck, that's cool. Haha. All right. Consume emotion, memory, or thought. Oh, that's so cool. They're like the fucking slake moths. Oh, yeah. And they're the people that the TL4 aliens that live within them their advanced tech is gastronomy, but it just means they help their host species cultivate emotion, memory, or thought. Yeah, they're totally slake moths. That's awesome. Okay. Great. That's fantastic. Natural. Let's see. Natural habitat. Okay, so I'll roll, but I'll ignore it if it comes up parasites. Natural habitat is... See, isn't this more fun than dwarves? Space dwarves? Roll D8. Cold and wet. Water in gases or liquid form. Okay, cold and wet. Boreal forest, etc. Okay. And then... Let's see here. Natural habitat, cold and wet. And then procreation. How do these thought eaters procreate? So they'd feed off psychic energy. God, you have to chase them away. Like they would show up at like anywhere where there's a bunch of like serpents all in one place. They would like show up and be like, hey, what's up? Let me consume your effort. It is sweet to us. Okay. Procreation. How do these things make more of themselves? D6. Okay, same thing. So asexual. So they split off. So they like have a cellular kind of thing. I like that. Okay. And then their reproductive strategy. The reproductive strategy is... I think I'm going to do reproduces once, many young. So they have like these death clutches. So maybe procreation, yeah, is they reach maturity, then they die, and they reproduce with many young, and that ties into... These ones, they have live young with external incubators. So I think the two life cycles are built together, right? I think that the alien species 001, they only feed when they die, when they reproduce in the reproduction cycle. And then when these guys die, they split and they send off. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so I think I'm going to change their procreation into genetic parasite. There we go. And then that means that they reproduce with live young, they're like weird ghost spirit things. They incubate, and then they probably kill these guys, who, when they die, reproduce with many young, and then that spreads the genetic disease. So they're very like tied together. I like that. Okay. Reproduces once and has many young, and then their reproductive method. So reproductive method is that they, I think eggs, probably. Yeah, I think probably eggs. Well, the way these two species would get separated would be if we don't know if this is just their core species, right? Like the species 001, they are able to become parasites elsewhere, I'm sure, because they're incorporeal. They're psychic form. They probably don't even need to live inside species 2 all the time. Yeah, so reproductive method is going to be eggs. Weird eggs. Okay, good. I like it. And then... social structures for these dudes. So let's give them lenses and a social structure. Okay. So lenses are 2d20. Oops. What do these things care about on their own? 7 and 10. Glut. It's perfect. They're fucking perfect. Gluttony and honor. Gluttony and honor. Were aliens affected by the scream? I don't know. Why don't you ask one? All right, cool. So gluttony makes sense. And then honor is they have like a code. Obsessed with honorable behavior, obeying social mores and expectation of their role at all cost. Personal sacrifice for the sake of upholding these is glory and esteem. Gaining advantage by means of inappropriate behavior is shameful, right? And they would hold humans to that like weird code. Yeah, cool. And then feasting on memory, thought, and emotion. That's so cool. Okay. All right. Egg laying, flying, mind eating. They're not spiders. Spiders are arachnids, not insects, and they're not insects anyway. Okay. And then social structure. I mean, they consume each other's emotions, memory, or thought, right? Like they don't have like necessarily they don't have like another layer down in the food chain, right? But I'm sure they can eat other human. Like, they could eat human emotions. They could eat the memories or thoughts of other creatures. Yeah, totally. And they're Epicureans, right? They really want all kinds of different... They want to experience everything. Cool. Okay. And, yeah, humans probably don't even know this is a separate species because we're dumb and arrogant and we think we know everything. Okay. All right. So, their social structure is... D6. Small group with great influence over a society of individuals. So they have like a council. Their technological achievements. Let's see. So their technological level of this is on their own. On their own, late industrial production levels. Okay, cool. So they were probably stuck on their own homeworld until the higher species, the upper species, like fixed them. Yeah, they're TL3. So the other species was like, yo, we need you to get out there into space. Here, we'll teach you how to make spaceships. Okay, good. And then they're particularly good at and particularly bad at two things. Let's see. 2d20. They're good at 6 and bad at robotics. Okay, cool. All right. So they have how do we phrase it? Advanced tech and underdeveloped tech. Okay. Advanced tech is computing, and underdeveloped tech robotics. Interesting. Okay, that should be something. Are they aware of the higher parasite species? Probably not. No. I don't think that they know that they're like, I think that probably their society, their structure has been reformed around them without their knowing it. Yeah. I don't think that's something that they like have a handle on particularly. Cool. Okay. Gluttony and honor. I don't know if all of them, I don't know if all of them are hosts to 001. I haven't really thought about that. So let's answer some questions. So these guys are psychic parasites. And then the second ones, these guys are thought eating host entities. Okay. So these psychic parasite dudes, I guess we can put some here. We'll put some like notes. I'll change this to just the technology, and then we'll make specific notes. Okay. So humans probably don't know they exist, or if they do, it's a psychic secret or misinterpretation. Maybe we think of them as ghosts. or spirits or something, as per local custom and as per local custom, etc. They abhor humanity and ultimately intend us to be destroyed or subjugated on some lengthy timeline. Have a primary host species, but can occupy any predominantly corporeal species. Right. Essentially, they can psychically like. I wonder if maybe they can't accept humans. I think that might be the thing. Accept humans. That's why they hate us, maybe. Or that's why they couldn't just defeat us when we got here. Yeah. They totally hate our guts because they can't fuck with us that way. Yeah, totally. They are functionally immortal, though they have to consume their host entirely once per breeding cycle, shed their offspring, because they procreate through a live, yeah, shed their offspring into other hosts. Cool. Okay. So they're like starfish, I guess. Let's change that around. So they procreate. It's like genetic parasite / asexual reproduction, because they stick around but they split. They're like limbs. Their psychic limbs break off into other hosts. And it happens on a cycle. And they have live young in the sense that like they're sort of clones incubate inside a person after that break. Yeah. Okay. Their society is fractured into many groups, which we don't even know about. Okay, cool. So the reason why human host conspiracy is again, I'm avoiding things that take away from the core theme. I don't ever want in this setting for people to be like, oh, is he an alien or not? Because that question has to be, oh, is he a synth or not? We've already asked that question. And I never want us to be in a position where the theme gets all fucked up, where we're like, is he a synth or not? Oh, he might be an alien. Like that, it muddies the waters. Like we have this idea, going back to our original conversation about the themes and stuff in the campaign, that the more of this stuff that we introduce, even though it seems cool on the small scale, it fucks up the large scale, which is the real question about the thing. This is why aliens will always be a side note to what's really going on, which is the interhuman political struggle of the campaign, right? And the nature of the synth and stuff. And no, they absolutely can't if they can't occupy a human, they definitely can't occupy synths. I'm keeping these things far apart on purpose, by design, because it's a human infected by the ghost of an alien psychic synth. It's boring. It's boring and stupid, and it's just too much. Yeah, way too much overlap. We're not playing that game. Okay, so our access to these species, we don't even have a name for them. Our only access to them is through their host species. So their host species is a avian insectoid. I think, yes, they're probably like furry, like feathered bird bug. I don't know. I'm not too worried about their physical form, but they're interesting. So these guys, they've been around probably longer. Their link to 001 separates, like it's not eternal. It's not, they weren't around forever. So let's talk about that. So like notes. They're owl bugs. Oh my god. Trist. Ghost Riders and Whips. Okay. So these are a slow slowly developing species up until several hundred years ago, when their civilization went from disconnected tribes to a single vanguard rulership council. The council led this species to the stars and into TL4 very, very quickly. Because the council is the start point. Council is patient 0 for the parasite species. Right? So, like, probably the council was originally a single tribe who had first contact with the psychic ghost whatevers. And then they were like, cool, hello, we are the chosen ones. We have technology for you. We can make everything about it better. And then whoop, cool, now everything's great. So yeah, the parasite. Okay, so now, and then they got mostly wiped out by humans. The remainder, too docile to fight back, now scattered throughout Acheron row. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, and they don't know that the psychic ghosts like the parasite exist. They aren't aware of the parasite even like at all. That has infested them for generations. Okay. All right, good. And then let's see what else. They feed off of psychic energy in the form emotions and memories, but also in raw form as effort. Like game mechanical note. This species can effectively induce stat burn on humans, right? So they can like reduce your intelligence, your charisma, or your wisdom if you let them. Cool. So they've been taught by I guess like not even taught, but like engineered to harvest. Basically, their gluttony was caused by the parasite species. So gluttony induced by parasite species. They're effectively being fattened up on emotion, etc. As a result, I think they probably have some kind of like natural ability to given to them by their host. So like can manipulate human emotions, etc. So they can make you feel what they want you to feel, and then they consume that feeling. They have that ability. It's a psychic ability that they can use on humans and other like creatures. That's a power that they have. Change memories, groom a sentient for consumption. Cool. Okay. So they're effectively being fattened up. Yeah. Okay. That's great. That makes sense. Cool. So they can fuck with your emotions and your feelings, and they make it so that you can feel what they want you to feel, and then they eat it, so they become fat on those emotions, so that when they die and they trigger the psychic parasites like split, right? They become, their youth are excellent incubators. Cool. Okay, I like it. Good. Thought eating host entities. Cool. Yeah. And yeah, when they feed on your emotions, you lose those emotions, obviously. Like, not permanently necessarily, unless they like really fuck with you, but like, yeah, I'm really happy. And then the thing like sucks out your happiness and you're like, okay, I feel neutral again. Yeah. Whatever you're feeling. The thing is though, remember, their motivations, they're meant to be alien. So like, humans don't have like friendships with them. We don't like use them to like make ourselves feel things. They don't like think about that. Their presence tends to, like, if one or two of them show up, we chase them off, because if we don't, everyone in that civilization, like a crew with one of these things on it, are a bunch of neutrals, right? Everybody just is like bland, feelingless. Like, if you run across a group of people who all just don't seem to have any feeling, then that's their jam. No, the pay attention. The parasites don't feed off hate. The parasites feed off physical complex life forms. They eat these hosts. They consume their genetic material. So you can tell if one of these is around, because everyone around them is just kind of like, okay, this is fine. We're fine. Tell my wife I said hello. Yeah, right? Like, it's exactly, they turn people into filthy neutrals. It's not their fault. They're just hungry. You're just hungry. Well, so this is the thing. I think everybody needs to stop kind of looking at them as tools, right? Like, they could be valuable tools in a medical clinic for draining pain or depression. No, like, we can't convince them to only feed off a certain thing. Like, I'm feeling sad. You go to the weird moth owl thing, and then now you're not feeling anything. You have no emotions. They've stripped away everything you feel. Yeah, we can't make friends with them. We can't like make deals. They will just do what they want, and too bad for us. That's why we had to kill them all, because we can't be friends with them. The Church of Humanity Repentant is wrong. This is what happens. They eat our emotions. Right? Now I'm saying this all kind of pseudo in character. Like, obviously there are lots of reasons to try to make allies with these things. They have their own thinking. They have their own. Just because we don't understand them doesn't mean we need to murder them all. However, the prevailing cultural story is, fuck all these things. They're scary aliens. Jesus, if we ever found out about the psychic parasites, you know what? Here's the thing. Let's put this in. So, the psychic parasites, suffering from a deeply, they're suffering from a period of darkness because humanity genocided their previous host species. So they're actually just like recovering. There's not that many of them, and they're still like working shit out. But yeah, we killed their food supply, and they managed to like limp off to planet wherever they found alien species 002, and then climbed up in them. So these things, we almost made them extinct too, and they remember, and they're pissed. I don't know that they necessarily have like a vengeance plan, but they have a plan for humanity, and it is not good. They know that they can't occupy us, but they're probably watching, waiting in the darkness in their hosts, being like, I wonder what this MES situation is like. Why are humans changing? Why are our hosts so like thirsty for human energy? Yeah. Cool. I like it. Good stuff. I mean, that's the thing. We could kill all the hosts. We'd have to kill everything in the sector except ourselves. Wait. That sounds like a great idea. Okay. So there you go. They're bad. They're a bad time. Cool. And I think that like, because the thought eating host entities, let's make those notes about like, tend, because of their gluttony, right? They tend to overeat and leave a swath of emotionally stripped sentience in their wake. Like, they can't help it. They just like suck up all human energy and emotion. So like they're just their heart. They don't even understand. Yeah, it's just a flavor. They're just like, I just need your flavors. Give them to me. Give me your thought flavors. And they overeat, right? They're gluttons. They can't stop. They can't control it. And the parasite species is really into that. They're like, yes, good, become strong and fat on these emotions. Cool. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, and like memories and like there have been, I guarantee there have been ships where we have found like a bunch of comatose, like brain dead crew members who took pity on one of these aliens, picked them up off a spaceship, and then in drive space, the thing just ate everyone's thoughts and feelings and emotions. And so everyone was just like, we'd warp back into space, and all of the humans are just like laying around, like glassy eyed, peeing themselves, unable to exist. And then this like huge, like fatted monster thing is just like, yes, oh, good, delicious. So yeah, they're terrible. They're a horrifying, thought-eating species. No pity for the aliens. Yeah, but then also like, yeah, they have a deep understanding of what it means to feel, and if we could only get in touch with that. I don't know how they communicate with each other, but I don't think we can communicate with them. Probably like a series of like noises and color pattern changes. So like communicate via feather shape, color changing, feather and carapace, color changing feather and carapace patterns, pheromones, and small scale memory emotion consumption. Yeah, they like feed each other their emotions and feelings. Yeah, for like serious complex stuff. Oh, it's like fucking like birds feeding. But the thing is, their young don't get raised, right? Their young are born like essentially whole or capable because they die when they give birth. They like split open and the eggs all hatch out of them. So they carry around their own like egg stuff. Yeah, gross. Cool. Yeah. And so it's like they feed each other this like emotional slurry to help communicate these things. These things are psychic. They're a psychic incorporeal form, so they communicate psychically with each other. So direct like thought transfer. Yeah. Age span, psychic parasites live forever. They just like cyclically. We talked about how they're like starfish. They're cyclical and they break up and they spread out into into their other hosts. So they basically break off when one of their hosts dies. So I am alien. I'm one of the psychic parasites. I'm alien 001, right? And I occupy the body. Currently, I am occupying the body of alien species 002. When 002, the one that I'm in, reaches the end of its life cycle, it is fat with eggs. They die. I break myself up into, 100 pieces. I essentially clone myself. I immediately occupy the newly formed mental resonance of the things that it's dying to give birth to. And now there's 100 of me to go along with all of them. If they die, then those little pieces might leave and try to occupy something else. Because these things can exist for a time without a host, but they do slowly die off if they don't have genetic material to consume. Yeah. And I definitely think their society, yeah, right? Like, so like probably there's like originators, so some kind of like, yeah, the original organisms or some like long lineages of organism host relationships and also gene like psychic lines. etc. Whatever passes for like weird families for them, like thought lines. Yeah. Cool. I'm into it. We don't know. Yeah, there was an ghost at some point, but we don't. Obviously, we as humans in the species, we don't even, or in the setting, we don't even know they exist. So, yeah, they definitely don't structure in any way that makes sense to us. Like they would have a really hard time explaining to us. The best way to combat the 002 aliens is to just be a human. They can't possess us. We might see them as ghosts, right? Like if you showed 002, if you showed a version of 002 to like a psychic, they might understand there's something funny about their resonance, but we see them all as one species. So we probably, House Serpens and Pixis and whoever is like researching this species, they probably just make a note like this species has an unusual psychic resonance, but they don't realize that it's two different species overlapping each other. We don't know that. We may learn it if we didn't live in a society that said murder all aliens before they can murder us, right? We've not been given the cultural. It's like how we would know a lot more about drugs if most drugs weren't like Schedule 1 in the countries that can afford to research them. And yeah, we've never seen a 002 without a 001 in it. And if we've experienced 001s, then we don't recognize they're overlapping. And plus they can eat our memories. Their hosts can. So it's like we got some complicated stuff with them. But they're bad. They're bad stuff. Yeah, they're dangerous. I don't know. I'm sure that we could develop tools. Listen, we could develop tools to protect ourselves from their like thought gluttony. But you know what's a really good tool for protecting yourself from a hostile alien? Right? The only good alien's a dead alien. My mind is safe because it's a pile of rotting goo on the floor. Problem solved. And that's the way we approach aliens, right? Is like, why you don't research them, you don't study them. They don't have a civilization, right? God has turned his eye off like from them. They're not worth paying any attention to because they're not human. They have no souls. They're just in our way. They're a threat to our way of life. And we destroyed them so that we could live safely in this sector. Why would you want to turn that around? Why would you want to risk our safety? So there you go. All right, this is our first species. I got to come up with some cool names for this stuff. Obviously, the psychic parasites can't possess us because we have souls, okay?